Hi, I am Renee Wilhelm. I am an occupational therapist at the Wood County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and today I am going to talk about assistive technology for social participation. I do want to acknowledge that I am recording this in the beginning of March of 2026, and so there may be some changes in technology that have come out since this recording. Also, this is not a comprehensive list. This is the idea of technology resources that can exist, but there are other technologies that are being developed and probably new as while I'm speaking. But let's move on. So diving into really looking at what social participation is, this is having our ability to participate in the community or programs and with others. So this is helpful for us to help us feel like we have a sense of belonging, that inclusion allows opportunities to connect with others, supports our emotional and physical well-being, enhances personal growth, and can promote independence. So when we're talking about this, I just want you to self-reflect of like, who do you like to socialize with? Where do you like to socialize? How do you socialize with others? What allows you to be able to engage in your own social participation? Some devices that could be useful. The UB Duo, this is that picture right there. It looks like two almost computers with the keyboard there. This is designed for somebody who is deaf or hard of hearing. You would put those two devices, they can be right next to each other or across the room. This is a way to have real-time interaction conversation via typing for somebody who is deaf or hard of hearing. You can do a one-on-one conversation, or if you were in like a group meeting, you could have the moderator typing out the notes. It would go directly to that person's device. There are different type of amplification systems that exist. For example, this green box is the catch box. This actually has a microphone inside of it. And so you can play a game or you kind of toss the mic to the next person and they can talk inside to the box and then they toss it to somebody else, making some of those games or conversations a little bit more interactive with having the ability to talk into a microphone. There are all kinds of different options out there for communication, such as augmentative alternative communication devices, such as AAC, PECs or picture exchange communication, communication boards, symbols, icons, etc. If you really wanted to dive into that a little bit more, especially AAC devices, I would encourage that you talk to a speech pathologist to make sure you have the right one appropriate for the individual, and then also to see if insurance would be able to cover a device. The Grand Care Pad and the Claris Companion are two tablets that allow for a certain amount of contacts and approved contacts, ways that you can communicate with them through texting or video call. Also have things such as your schedule posted in the Grand Care Pad, so you can keep track of your schedule. The Claris Companion, you can do text or video calls. You can also play video game or excuse me, games on this tablet as well. For somebody who might need some extra support, maybe a scan marker device where you scan them, you run the marker right over the words and it'll read those words out loud to you, or maybe a PDF reader or another device that would read text. If, for example, you're going to be out to a restaurant, out to eat with your friends, you wanted some extra guidance or help on how to read the menu. Things such meta glasses also exist, or the Orcam glasses for someone who might need a little bit more of that visual support. There are different types of cell phones out there that have a lot of customization built into them that can allow for safety features such as that bark phone or phones that make it a little bit easier to use, such as the Jitterbug. There's also other types of communication devices like watches, such as the TikTok watch, where you can text or video call through this watch with approved contacts. And also socialization and social participation happen so much around cell phones nowadays. And there are so many different accessibility features built into cell phones. So I would take a look under the settings into the accessibility options. But some of the things you can do on your phone or voice or video calling or texting, the ability to do speech to text or text to speech. That's a really nice feature for somebody maybe who is doing text messages. You actually have the ability to read them out loud or have your web browsers read out loud to you. I know we have a handful of individuals who really enjoy just sending GIFs to their friends or their loved ones or emojis. Let their family know that they're okay. There's also captioning on phones nowadays. The amount of resources is really amazing what's available on a phone that's already built in there. So I would definitely take a look at that. Virtual resources and virtual participation is also a really common occurrence that's happening right now. We Thrive Together has a platform where they do programming all day long. So they have all different types of programming, such as like karaoke and exercise, trivia, general knowledge based. Content for the hour. So it's something new throughout the day. You go to their website, it's the same link for everything. So that way you don't have to get a new link for each time you're interested in something. Very quick, easy to use. It actually was created during COVID with so many people being isolated. It was a way to connect virtually and while staying safe. eBuddies is another virtual resource to be able to connect with others virtually. There's ARC virtual programming that exists. And then for somebody who maybe has a hard time engaging virtually, if they are deaf of hard of hearing or have a hard time processing, you can look into AI note-taking options such as the Otter. And this is will pop up on the meeting and it will take notes for the individual to let them know the key points that were said as well as a transcription of the entire conversation. You can also highlight who's talking. So I'll say like Renee, and then I'll go into content. And if another person is talking, it can say like speaker two, and then what they said. So a way to keep content organized and easy to follow. Some additional virtual options, Alexa drop-in is a really nice feature that you can drop in on somebody who has the Alexa with a screen on it. You can do FaceTime or video calling. iOS system actually came out with the option to do closed captioning while you're doing FaceTiming, which I think would be an amazing resource to have available. There's Zoom, Teams, Skype meetings, etc. Messenger Kids is another way to do some of that virtual meeting. All kinds of different social media platforms. And if that's something that you are concerned about, there are also resources that exist for social media safety. There's different types of videos and ways to explain to make sure that our loved ones are being safe while they are exploring social media. Also participating out in the community, so getting some community integration. There are options for like tracking for safety, whether that be someone tends to elope or wants to go out and explore new areas, but is concerned of being lost and wants somebody to be able to check in on them. There are public transit apps, ways to help somebody get around. There's also a lot of accessibility checkers that are now available too for somebody to check to see if a place is accessible for them prior to going. Fall penance exists for somebody who is out in the community and would like to have that peace of mind or that help in case they were to fall. The handy bar is a device that can help somebody get in and out of the car a little bit easier. And then another option could be a medical identification card, whether that be something they carry in their wallet or they have attached to their shoes, or another way to be able to carry that just for somebody to be able to identify if that person had any medical needs that would be needed. And lastly, when we're trying to socialize, just organizing the social event can be really difficult for most of us, or a really big barrier. So ways you can work on that is even sharing your calendar, coming up with particular schedules. Some people really like a schedule or a calendar that's on the wall or a digital one. So whatever would be an easy option for them. Setting those timers or alarm reminders to help make sure that we are leaving on time, we don't forget about an event. So I could, example, tell Google to remind me on Wednesday at like 3 o'clock, I have an appointment. And that way I don't forget to meet up with my friends or go out wherever I am going. So that was a really brief overview of social participation resources. If you have any other questions or you'd like to learn more, please feel free to reach us at remote support at woodcountydd.org, and we'd be more than happy to help. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.